o'clock. I will open the meeting of the Birch Urban Forestry Committee. We'll start by taking a roll call to determine quorum, and we'll start with
Jeanette is spelled here.
Joe Scott here.
Carol Hannah.
Carrie Dodd here.
Kenneth Long.
All right, we have a full house. And the first item on our agenda tonight is to review and approve the minutes from the February meeting. And I think everyone's been glancing through those. Whenever anyone's ready, I will entertain a motion to approve them, or if there are any changes anybody sees.
Make the motion,
Do we need to worry about under adjournment that it said next meeting, March 21st? Does that need to be?
At the time that
It was.
that meeting was held, that was the next, and we kind of talked about that too, but yeah.
Okay.
no, good. Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
I apologize, that was Joe, and then,
And
Jeanette and then
Yeah.
me.
yeah, I think the three of us were the only ones here that year.
Yeah.
Night anyway, so. Okay, so we have a few old business items and we'll let Denise take it.
over here. All right, well, I just wanted to keep this on our presentation, but we did discuss this at the last meeting. There are those 4 requirements that we need to meet through the Arbor Day Foundation to be acknowledged as a tree city community. And below there is a list of all of our financial data that went into that application. So great news, about a week and a half ago, we received a letter from Arbor Day. So early January of 2024, the state of Indiana had approved our application. And then here about a week or 2 ago, Arbor Day has accepted our application, and we are recognized now for 14 years. Getting that.
I was gonna ask you,
Yeah.
14 years, great.
14 years. We are just very, very excited. There's been some communication that we received from Indiana DNR. And what would be your guess as far as the longest time span of getting that recognition for any community within the state? Would be your guess? Yeah.
7.
7. So we've received it 14 years. We are not the top, but I felt like for our size of our community, we were really close.
What was the top?
So it's the city of Noblesville, and they have earned that recognition for 21 years. They are the highest in the state of Indiana.
Wow.
So I felt, comparatively so, I think we've done really well.
Yeah, that's a good place to compare ourselves. to.
14.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
14 plus 7 is 21.
There you go. That's right. That's right. And we need to thank Jeanette and her board back in 93,
That
for
was,
getting that
it's been a
going.
long,
And
it's been a long time.
yes, so we're very, very, very proud to announce that. So I wanted to wait till tonight before we kick that out on Facebook. So I will be putting that release out on our website, the 2 Facebook pages, one for the town, one for our Urban Forestry Committee, and then also Times Post. I'll be getting that information to Scott Slade. He'll be doing coverage on that, as well as now we have a monthly newsletter. If you have not heard about that newsletter, it's really an awesome thing that we started here a couple months ago. You can go on the homepage of the Town of Pendleton website, go up at the top and subscribe for that newsletter, and it'll come out generally around the 1st of the month, and it reflects things that took place the month prior. So I have already given him a heads up that I'd like to have coverage for that, but it won't be until the May newsletter. So he wasn't quite for sure with the holiday that he may kick it out a little bit sooner, and I wanted you to be the first to hear.
I got,
Did you already get it?
Yeah, I got it
I got
today,
a
actually.
draft
Yeah.
yesterday, so I wondered.
I got it today.
Okay, yeah. So I will follow up with him and we'll get that out there and let everyone know that we received that recognition. We also received another flag. And And so we will, I know we talked about having the previous flag hung up in July when they switch out the American flag and so forth at the playground area. But I'm gonna go ahead and get them the new flag because sometimes that emblem changes a little bit. So we'll make sure that the most current one goes up. And then here, Jeanette had suggested this a couple of months ago about giving a comparison for the years for our funds that we dedicate to our tree management and care. And then also included in that as well, just our projects that we do and just any type of development that has been urban forestry related have included that as well. So I would like to be able to keep that going and provide you with a summary each year of how we progress them each year. You'll see that our population, our per capita went down a little bit, but we did anticipate that. And the reason why our funds have been the same or a little bit more, very, very close, but yet our population has increased. So that has gone down just a little bit, but also our total amount for our utility line clearance funds, we anticipate that to continue to drop each year. It was very significant a few years ago. It was a little kind of level there for a couple years, but this past year it did significantly drop. Just because we've been able to get a hold of things and be able to get it to where we're doing more preventive maintenance and care, more of the trimming versus a lot of the removal. So, but,
Well, I think we still have plenty of room, since we only have to spend $2. We've got a little wiggle room there.
Did that, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure we will continue to be way over that $2.
Yeah. And I'd like to be able to replace the removal cost and replace that with more new plating. And I think that's
Yeah.
definitely an ultimate goal, even if it wasn't in, just in kind or direct, cost for the town, but looking into more great opportunities. And then below that, that is that 5-year budget. We wanted to keep it consistent with our 5-year inventory cycle. So it is reflective of 23 through 27, but you'll see kind of the projection. Some of those went down a little bit going forward. Some of them then went up by say 5%, 10% increase, just in conversations that I've had with town manager, Rick Mullen, our street department supervisor, and Craig Switzer, our electric department supervisor. Any questions about that?
No, it's great.
So this is the letter that we received. It was addressed to Scott Bresky, the mayor of Pendleton. And it was actually addressed at the top though. But very excited to receive this letter. And then down below, you'll see the actual news release that we will send out. We'll make that available on our social media and also our website and the newspaper. Oh, and then the other piece of communication we would like to have included is IMPA. IMPA is our electric utility partner, and they put out, it's about 3 times a year, they put out a newsletter just for Pendleton. So we've got her contact and we keep her apprised of, different topics and so forth. So I'll make sure that I get that to her as well. She can put coverage in her next article for our town. That's all I have for the Tree City USA. The next one is our poster contest for Indiana DNR. And for this poster contest, where we're at now, and I actually received an email from Kim Collier today. They were going to get back with us and try to find a time that we can have that award presentation. So if any member from the Urban Forestry or committee would love for you to come and join. Marissa Skaggs, the town council president, would really like to do the presentation. And then myself will attend, Scott Bresky may be able to attend, and then we also have a representative from Three Rivers Federal Credit Union has asked if they can come and be there with Marissa as that is being presented. They are actually, and I'll go over kind of the prizes that we've collected over the last month, but Three Rivers Federal Credit Union is giving a, like a certificate, I think it's gonna be like a $25 gift card from them. So that will go to the top winner for the school. So they'll be there with us as well. But I just wanted to personally thank Kim Collier was a huge advocate, very excited to get this going. She rallied her team so fast and quickly. Carrie, we've got kind of your cover sheet of your presentation down there. Thank you again for putting that together. It was very helpful in them being able to educate their students on trees and oak trees specifically. But Kim Collier, Bethany Beaver, Beth Landman, and Sarah Reagan are 4 fifth grade teachers that work with their students to be able to develop the idea and their draft. And then Kirsten Gray, the art teacher, then took that and put it in art form. And we've got, a lot of great entries for that, but I know we had met in between this meeting and then our February urban forestry meeting to vote. And for that, we have come with the 8 honorable mentions. There as listed in the presentation. And then our 4 top classroom award winners is Nora Bishop, Izzy I think it's Alarney, I'm not for sure, Ava Wills, and then Amelia Purdue. From those 4, then we had selected those 4 as a committee and staff here for the town. And then we kicked it back, those top 4, and then the teachers voted in the top winner, and that was Nora Bishop. So Nora Bishop, got the image there. This is her poster. It was submitted to the state by the 1st of March. They will issue by April the 12th the top 3 winners for the statewide contest. But the next page of the presentation shows then the top 4 posters, and they were all very unique, provided a lot of details about oak trees, and thought they provided a great original creative artwork, and I think we did very well for our community.
Yeah. So too.
That's a lot of talent. So we'll anxiously await, I'm sure they're probably waiting for all the schools to get back from spring breaks and so forth before they make their announcement. We will not get notified. It'll get, the school will be notified because they were the entity that had to submit it directly. But I'm sure Kim will let us know. She has asked if possibly next week, or the week after, if we could come and do the award presentation. So I got that email today. The only thing is next week, Marcia Skaggs is out of town. And I know she was really looking forward to being there to present it to the students. So I have asked her if we can look into the following week, if that would be an option. Her times that did not work for them, there was like a 10, I think it was maybe a 9:55 to a 10:20, and then there was 11 to 11:45 for some lunch. Other than that, they seem very open. That Wednesday and Friday seem to be the better days for them. Thursday was a no-go, she said. Tuesdays, they had school pictures this next week. So now, Joe, you're off. Are you off this week and next week?
No,
or
just 1
this
week.
next week?
Well, 1 week and a day, but the school won't be there on Monday, the 8th.
Right.
No schools,
Right, yeah.
that's why I'm off.
Yeah, no.
Right.
That's okay.
Well, we'll see, if next week is the only week, as an option for them and not that following week,
Mhm.
then we'll move forward and maybe we can do it on Wednesday. It seemed like it was a good time, for them or Friday. How about for all of you? Is there Wednesday or Friday this next week or the week after that might work if you free would like to come?
I think Wednesday, I normally work on Friday, but I don't want anybody to change their plans because of me, but Wednesday would be,
Wednesdays? Okay.
be good for me.
And what were the times that?
They were
Oh,
from,
those were just times they couldn't do it. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, what's actually, what's
9:55 to 10:40 is not, it's already, it's a special class that they go to in 11 to 11:45. So it need to be very early in the morning, say 8:30, 9 o'clock, I would say. Or a later time would be then probably 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1:30, probably at the latest.
Yeah.
Just with school getting out.
Yeah,
So-
either one's, okay.
Yeah, so this would be a Wednesday or a Friday week after next, is that correct?
Ideally, if we can wait until the week after, just to wait until it can be back, but if that's not a viable option for them, we'll move forward with
Okay.
it.
You'll just let us know.
Does Wednesday seem to work good for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. It seemed to work well with the school.
Okay.
What would be a better time frame for Wednesdays?
Doesn't matter to me.
Mornings would be better for me.
Okay. Like maybe a 9 or 8:30 or? Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
doesn't matter.
Obviously, what works for
Yeah,
others, kind of
I
8:30 or 9.
teach a class at 1 on Wednesdays.
Well, let's see here. Okay, elementary, they don't start till 8:30, is that right? Is it the middle school and high school that starts at 7:30?
Right, that's right.
Okay, good. I have to think about that. They are an hour later. So maybe a 9 o'clock? And I wouldn't think it'd be too long, but half hour, I think we
Yeah.
can get in there and get out and then,
Yeah.
okay. And then that would give them well enough time before their 9:55 special class. Okay.
Well, do you know what the date,
Yes, so the 3rd or the 10th.
Right.
3rd or 10th?
I do have a conflict on the 10th, but that's okay. I mean, don't hold it up for me.
Well, how about Fridays then?
I mean, I can do, yeah, I actually have a meeting at the high school for my son's IEP meeting. On the 10th till like the 9, 10, so whatever, or Fridays. Fridays are wide open, but those 2 Wednesdays. One day I have something early in the morning, one day I have something in the afternoon,
Yeah,
so it's just kind of weird. Usually we don't.
yeah,
Whatever, it's fine. We'll figure it, I mean, just see what works for them, that's the most important, obviously.
I did mention to her in the first email that, if they wanted to wait until the announcement of the statewide contest, we could, that would, we'd be open to that as well. She said the kids are so excited.
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of a little hesitant to push it back to the 12th. We can, but that's that
Well,
same day. So I thought, oh, these kiddos
Well,
are
you said-
excited
yeah, and we.
to get recognized. So maybe I would check on the 3rd and the 5th, or maybe the 10th.
Yeah,
Something
that's
like
right.
that.
The 5th would, I have,
The 5th, okay,
but Marissa will be. here.
okay.
right.
Well, and I'll follow up with her. I'll just reach out to her
Yeah.
this evening and check to make
And then that
sure.
way,
I can, those, either time on either the 3rd or the 5th, I can make it
Okay.
work.
Okay.
And if we're gonna do it that early, I don't have to be at work yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so 3rd and 5th at 9 a.m. We'll see if that'll work out and, and unless Marissa.
well, yeah, because if they're really,
Physically
if
ask
they're
you.
really excited, that, I'd like to.
Yeah.
And,
Okay. So we'll do 3rd, 5th, or the 10th at 9 a.m.
So do they know who who the winner is for the school? Do they know the
Yeah,
Nora?
I'm pretty sure that they already know
No.
who got submitted because they didn't have to have a signature from the parent, but
Okay,
they kind of wanted that consensus, yes, from
Yeah,
that parent, that
okay.
they
Yeah.
could release things on social media
Yeah.
with that
Yeah.
child's name, so.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure they know all the winners, but they're probably just, looking forward to the
Yeah.
presentation. So, I have Menards, what do you call it, bucks or, whatnot that we have from our previous projects in the fall.
rebate.
Yeah, rebates, thank you. And, I will be
just got
using
some.
those and I'll get the bags and just different things to be able, to present the items, in. We've got Community Sports and Wellness. You'll see that they donated 12 t-shirt and water bottle combos there, over there on the table. And also Mystic Waters, they donated 12 day passes So they've got that pool, or not pool, but that beach out there that they can come in and they can enjoy swimming, kayaks, for free that day. And then there also is a lodge with arcade games and so forth that they can go and enjoy. So they gave, those for the 12, winners, of the top 3 winners of each class. Three Rivers Federal Credit Union, they actually gave a pencil for every student, so we'll provide that. And then we're going to try to provide like a sticker, the stickers that Carol brought in, the tree stickers. We also have some different postcards and bookmarkers that we'll try to add into the packets as well. And then Twister Soda Bar, they gave 4 $10 gift certificates. So we'll give those for the top winners of each class. And then again, then that Three Rivers Federal Credit Union, then they'll have their gift card that they're going to get. And then today I just met with the Honolulu and they gave a 1 free donut coupon. So that'll go to all top 12.
Is the
That's great.
Twister's
Yeah.
soda bar up there by Pizza King?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Okay.
Yeah,
Thought it
out
was,
there
but I
across
wasn't-
from the high school off Angle Road.
Well, good.
Yeah, we got a
That's.
good response, because I thought,
That's a
good
lot of stuff.
representation of our community, so yeah, I think it'll be good, so. And there's the top 4. Okay, and then, this I'm also going to be getting, once we have the presentation, we'll get a group picture, and then that way I can put that group picture in the newspaper. We won't issue any names or anything, but it'll just be a group picture that's gotten played. He may be able to attend, he may not, but I'll grab a picture and give it to him, and he's gonna do an art form.
Yeah, or, the school.
Oh, yes, Brittany.
Brittany, yes.
Oh.
Brittany would be there and
Yeah.
picture.
I will reach out to her as well and give her
Yeah.
a heads up. Yeah, thank you.
When we decide that.
Okay. All right, so in Madison County Stormwater Quality Partnership, the Earth Day Arbor Day celebration. Has some good news, have some, a little bit of a delay on good news, I guess, but, last year, we had done a booth at Citizens Plaza there across from the Government Center in Anderson. The, Anderson Parks and Recreation, they're going to host that same event this year. So they are going to do it on Friday, April the 26th, from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock. The partnership said that, if any of you can attend, that would be great. We're going to stress stormwater management and how trees benefit our stormwater management and help prevent erosion and so forth. So they will be handing out tree seedlings. But then as far as our booth, we're going to be handing out stormwater pamphlets. They're going to be ordering I think 500 water bottles to hand out for our events for the year, which we only have 2. So we'll have plenty to hand out that day. And then we also have the doggy poo bags. They're really it's just like a little plastic container of the roll of trash bags that you clip on your belt or whatnot. And so we'll be handing out those. And then we also have some bags there. And then I'll bring the same type of items that we had from our alliance that we have for the bookmarkers and stickers and whatnot. So we'll bring those as well. If you want to come in and stay for the entire time, you can. If you want to pop in and just stay for a half hour, an hour, would be great. The time, Alicia Davis, she is the assistant there for the parks in Anderson. She said that she will be confirming that time. They're pretty sure they're gonna go with 11 to 2, going with a little bit later time. Last year, they were going to do it in the morning, and then the weather was a little iffy, and then they went ahead and postponed it till later in the day. They probably need to have it during that time as well. But I haven't heard back from her for sure that it's 11 to 2, so I will send out an email to confirm that time. And I think even to our April meeting will fall before that. So I'm getting it. The bad news is that I had sent out mid-February an email and survey to 11 schools within Madison County. and sent it to their art department teachers to see if interest, if they had the abilities and interest to be able to take a rain barrel in which the partnership was gonna provide for free. If they could take that and they can paint that according to their community that they would be painting one for, so that community can put it in a parks or town hall property or on school property, library, wherever that they so choose. We only got 2 schools that were able to commit for this year. So we had Frankton and we had Pendleton that were able to commit to 1 each. I think, bad timing probably on my part, and I should have probably sent it out in the fall. Got, input on that, I think falling probably right before they're taking spring break, and then we needed to have had them done by, well, we asked them on the 19th, because we weren't for sure when the Arbor Day celebration was gonna be hosted at that point. But again, we only had 2 out of 11 that said that they could do it this year. So we decided, we met, our partnership had a meeting yesterday, and we voted that we're just going to go ahead, I'm gonna send out an email letting them know that we're gonna postpone that project until the fall of next year and give them the entire school year to be able to get it done. And then that way they can do it whenever it fits in their schedule, and they probably already had projects lined up, or I'm sure there's a variety of reasons, but, so that rain barrel, will be, we're not gonna make it bicentennial related, we're just going to have it, be in sync with, the community in which they adopt, for the. And there might even be a possibility, I know that Pendleton had indicated earlier in the year that they would be interested in doing that, they might even be able to adopt 2 or 3. So maybe with more timing, that we might be able to get it all covered. There's 13 communities that expressed that they would find a home for the rain barrels. So we will make that a part of next year's program, and we'll hopefully have better luck than this year. Any questions on that project or anything?
Nope.
Okay. The last old business is our Hayes Arboretum visit. So been communicating with Stephen Hayes. He's like a very, very nice, man, very excited to meet him and to, have conversations with him. He said that he'd be more than happy, to give us a personal tour himself. This is a family-owned, arboretum, for his family. And he would be glad to give us a background, how it all got established, how it's grown and developed over the years, even some of the hurdles that they've gone through and so forth. But I think this is about a 330-acre arboretum. This is a lot bigger than what we would be looking at for our mini arboretum. But again, we had discussed this at the last meeting. This mini arboretum, what we would like to do is incorporate it into our park business trail project. Right now, where that project stands is that we are in the development phase of it, which we have to go into what they call kind of roadblock type analysis. So MCOG has found funding for the design of this project. Then the implementation, the construction of it will come as funds come available and as development grows. So if, say there's a business like Three Rivers Federal Credit Union and Starbucks, a part of their development, they had to incorporate the paths in the front of their property. So we're already making that as a requirement as it goes, or at least giving us that right of way to be able to develop if they, they can. But that will connect the bridge across 69 all the way down through, it'll go to South Heritage Way. It's going to then cut down to, we've got a strip of easement that is north of the school administrative building that then runs to Fall Creek Drive out there, Fall Creek Parkway. So along there between the school system and Fall Creek Parkway, we have the town dump. The town dump, we are looking at envisioning to be an amphitheater area.
That'd be great.
So, and using that berm, which is probably 15 feet tall, it's maybe 150 feet long. Some of it may have been carved out of it, but there is some design, the preliminary design that our engineer, has kind of come up and helped kind of create a vision for it. But for the trail, then it would go, across Fall Creek Parkway. It'll go across, bridge, the iron bridge that's there at the dump. Will go across the bridge and it'll tie into connect to Taylor. And then at Taylor, we have at Mill Road and Taylor Street, we have what we call a triangular parkway that the town just purchased. That will be probably like a parklet or a trailhead. And on that property, we would like to be able to have the start of a mini arboretum. And then we have the signs there, and then we would go more westbound and have more trees, and eventually, as the amphitheater then gets developed in the trail system that way. We would probably start out with maybe 25 trees to begin. There are different levels of arboretum, and as you grow in count wise and funding and so forth, then your level of accreditation moves with that. I did not know about that program until Stephen Hayes had shared that with me. So that would be a goal. So we would like to be able to be accredited mini arboretum of 25 trees. And so that being said, that is why I think that this visit is so important to me as well.
Yeah.
You know, to get educated. And then that way we have that to build upon as that park trail project develops.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at MCOG probably in this next year, they will finish up. And the red tape is there any historical areas that we need to accommodate? Is there any utility easements that might need to be adjusted on our trail system and so forth? And then it goes into then the design. We have funding for the design. So Banning Engineering will be doing the design work for that trail project, and they'll be in different phases. And that gets all the way down to the detail of every bench, landscape, sign, you know, whether trail or sidewalk or sharrows on the road for bikes. So it'll get very, very detailed as that gets developed. But then that will probably go through probably 2026. And then as development comes and funding comes, then the construction. And then it'll eventually will come into Taylor all the way down to Maine, and then Maine, then eventually it'll cross State Street, go to the bridge there at 132, and then tie into the park. So that's kind of, you know, the initial phases of it. Eventually, we would like to be able to continue on down to Pendleton Avenue and tie into the park.
That land there at Mill and Taylor, that's, a lot of that is empty, isn't it?
Yes,
There's
yeah.
nothing on it.
Yeah, there was an older
There's
small
an
home,
and there's an
I
old
think,
house
or an old house there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to become, if not already, a project for our fire department. Because it needs to be, demolished, you know, and, so I think that's gonna be one of their, kind of training type projects that they'll use. And then a lot of it is actually in,
The floodplain. That's what I was thinking.
Do you know what what the acreage is of that? So it looks, it's bigger than what,
It is
Yeah.
pretty large.
yeah,
Say maybe
2 acres.
three, it's been a
Yeah,
while.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be a pretty good guess, 2 or 3 acres.
Yeah. The box shape like that. I don't know. Can we use any of our impact fees for that? As
For the trail,
for the trail, can't we?
it has to be,
We'll be looking for grants.
yeah, it has to be, tied to the projects within, and it has to be road infrastructure.
Okay.
Look here on our zoning map. 3.5. So 3.5 acres is that property.
Well, that's great.
And there is plenty on the outlining edge of the property that is not in the floodplain, but even if it does, I think that we would incorporate like where the white swamp oak or, you know, those type
Yeah.
of trees that, you know, can handle,
Cypress,
bone
cypress.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
More intense moisture areas. So yeah, so this is, so I'll show you. So as it comes down here, this area is right here in front of Three Rivers Federal Credit Union and Starbucks. So the trail would come from the bridge, come here, go across, and then it would come down here. And this little brown area is the easement of the town.
Oh.
So that here would be a trail. And then I was thinking there might be a little parking lot area, but the amphitheater would shoot out from this large berm that is currently the town dump, you know, like when they burning things and so forth is where that takes place.
On that
That's where
side of
that-
Fall Creek,
on the west side of Fall Creek, yes.
on-
Mhm.
On the west side.
you're on the
Yeah.
east
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
you're
okay.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
I jumped over here.
Yeah.
This is the dump here, I apologize.
But that's what the bridge is.
So this would be
Yeah.
parking lot area, this would be the amphitheater.
So the town owns all of that green?
Yes, yeah,
It's all
even the
town.
wood.
Okay.
Where is the American Legion?
American Legion, let's see here, it
Right
is.
there.
Right
yeah,
there.
it's probably
Yeah,
right
right out there, yeah,
Mhm.
that blue.
Yeah, and so then, yes, it will, it'll come across here, we own this strip of, land as well, we bought that from the state of Indiana. And then we'll go across, the, creek right in here to Mill Road, and then that's where another little parklet, trailhead, maybe a smaller trailhead. This would be where the larger trailhead would be planned, where there'll be more parking. People to come in, bring their bike.
No, that's really.
If I'm thinking right, that berm,
I love it.
that berm could be real helpful if we did have some flooding issues.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you, isn't that in the,
Well, the berm here is over on this end. It's out of the flood zone. I think that may touch it a little bit here, on the very west
Yeah.
corner or something. But yeah, I mean, I think that it would be able to kind of help absorb some of this down, barrier. And I've been told that if you stand on this berm, that you can see into the downtown.
Sure.
Really?
So I'm hoping that that could be something that an
Future.
outlook.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, let's
you're
go.
gonna find us all over and crawling around in the.
Thank
Yeah.
There can be a lot of treasure buried in that dump.
That's
Yeah.
true.
A patient of mine told me that he is the driver that take the stuff and dump into the dump. And when the factory closed because they make the emblem for the Corvette, and he been dumping dump truck load of Corvette emblem into that
Oh
dump.
my gosh.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff.
So if
Well.
those emblem is not deteriorated or buried, you may find a lot of expensive Corvette emblem that would dump in that area.
Oh, people would love to go for
Yeah.
that.
and that could
The
help,
town could make
Yeah.
some money.
yeah, that could
Sell
help
this
fund
one,
the project.
That's right. fund our little-
Yeah, this old patient, I mean, he told me that he the
That's
one
funny.
that take it from the factory that make the emblem and dump it over there
Wow.
when they close the factory.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's interesting. That kind of reminds me of the caves down in Kentucky. They use a lot of old cars to, you know, kind of, you know, build up the ground inside, and they would take down these small narrow holes and, yeah, build a floor. around.
Now, I don't know how much that is, but that's what he told me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's pretty interesting.
So, yeah, so we're excited, and I just, you know, I don't know if, you know, I'm hoping that we can make that mini arboretum official part of that, that design. You know, and have that incorporated, and then that way it's, always there, and, you know, thinking that, you know, we've got all this ground here.
Yeah.
That we can put trees and, have them labeled, and so that's, you know, I'm just anxious to see what, you know, arboretum looks like,
Yeah.
and, you know, how we could design ours, and.
Is there any specification for the trees?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I mean, we probably definitely want to start out with, established trees that are probably a 2, maybe 3-inch caliber tree.
I mean, the
But,
type of trees.
yeah, and I would say we probably want a variety.
Well-
It's create a lot of
As much as we
diversity
can,
and
yeah.
color and blooms and.
There is there's a lot of, ginkgo tree planted along Main Street. But at one park I went to, they got a grove of nothing but ginkgo tree. And the leaves are golden yellow color. And in the fall, when it covers the ground with the golden yellow flower, people have wedding and take picture in that pile of golden color leaves.
And they always fall all at once. It's
Yeah.
like one day they're all on the tree and the next day they're all on the ground.
I mean, it's so beautiful.
It is. It's a real brilliant
So
yellow.
beautiful, yeah, I love the
Ginkgo is one of the oldest trees.
They were around with the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They are, I think
Because
they are,
there's
yeah.
quite a number of them along here.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are, and that's what was sad is that, they use them for street trees.
Yeah.
And they don't have the soil to be able to contain them, but they are beautiful trees and, yeah, we definitely will need to make sure that we incorporate some of those larger trees.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful wedding picture background.
Oh, that sounds so nice. Oh. Yeah. So, with our, visit. Okay, he had mentioned, we talked about a Wednesday being a better day. We wanted to wait until June or July, so I had given him those, okay, parameters, but preferences, and he came back, because I mentioned the 5th, the 12th, and 19th is what was indicated from the group, in June. The 19th is what worked best for him. He was not available the 5th and the 12th. And so the 19th is Juneteenth, so I don't know if anyone has anything going on here. Does not conflict with anything for myself. We are closed, so that worked out, great. But I just wanted to confirm it with you all that if that is a date that sounds like it would work still with your schedule, and if so, we'll go ahead and I'll let him know tonight and have him go ahead and put us on the schedule. He said he would like to meet with us in the morning for a couple hours. If we wanted to stay for, we want to bring a picnic or lunch, we can. We can continue to tour the grounds all afternoon if we want. But he said he could give if his time, a couple hours in the morning, then that would work really well for him. Does that sound like that would work? He said he gave us some July Wednesday dates. There is backup if the 19th still doesn't work, doesn't
Well,
work
let's-
well.
If we could do the 19th, and then if for some reason the weather is just horrible or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can, yeah, if that
Mhm.
works for
Yeah,
everybody.
then they,
Okay,
it's good, I don't have anything
yeah,
on.
I don't think she planned that part of things. Okay, you good?
I'm good.
Okay,
We go to 19th? Okay. All right, well, 19th it is, and I'll just, let him know that, if we do find that, he would, I'm sure, he'd be more than happy to reschedule for us. Have a good.
I like the idea of just taking our own lunch.
yeah.
I
I
do
do
I was
too.
gonna say,
Yeah.
are you good with that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pack your own
Just-
lunch,
yeah,
and we'll
just
stay and
enjoy
eat,
the-
and then enjoy the afternoon.
Enjoy the,
Sounds really
Have
nice.
lunch.
yeah.
Right.
Trees should look beautiful in June and.
Mhm. Okay, well, let's do that then. That sounds great. Okay. All right, well, that is all I have for old business, and that leads to new business. Okay. About a week ago, I think, received an email and an invite from Indiana DNR Division of Forestry, Jacob Rose, they're the executive director, has invited all communities that are a Tree City USA that has been recognized for this year to attend a forum, and they're going to hold 2 of them to kind of spread it out. This is not a mandatory attendance, but it's just to give recognition to those communities that have received that recognition. And then also create an opportunity to network as well as learn things about urban forestry. He did provide a, here, I'll pull that up here, kind of agenda. The first one is coming up on June the 4th. And they're going to highlight the city of Noblesville, the project, a tree project that they've completed for their community. And then there's, in both days that they're holding, then they're having the invasive pests at home and around the state topic. And then both as well from 2 to 2:30, it looks like that they're trying to fill in still the speaker for that. And then just do a round table discussion at the end. But it's from 12:30 to 4, both afternoons. The second option is July the 23rd. So the one on June the 4th is the closest. It's Martinsville. It's there at the Morgan Monroe State Forest Training Center. And it's about an hour and 10 minutes away. Then we've got Elkhart, it's up north, and I looked, and it's about a 2.5-hour drive. So it is a little bit farther. But if anyone would like to attend, I'm leaning more towards going to the Martinsville one on 4. So if anyone would like to join me, there's no fee or any cost to go, and we just need to get ourselves right. So I can take care of that for anyone who comes. So Joe, okay.
When do you think we need to let them know?
It, it didn't say any deadline on that. I'm sure that they'll continue to take individuals as long as it's just kind of not a last minute thing. So just take a look at your calendars and get back with me here, I'd say sometime in April, and I'll just add you.
June the 4th.
June the 4th, Tuesday, June the 4th.
That is the first day of the June Jamboree, if it matters to anybody.
Think about that.
Well, it's a good time to get out of
Yeah.
town.
Yes. Perfect
So I think, they really do a good job of putting on their programs. They do. Joe, Scott, and Carrie, and Carol and I, we were able to go to that tree sewer program. And they do a great job of pulling in a lot of experts that were always, learning a plethora of information. So, and looking forward to just continue to build our relationships.
Yeah, I can do it.
You go? Okay. All right.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, check on that and, I'll check into, if you want to drive yourselves, that's fine too, but I could always get the town truck and drive us there, so.
I have a conference, so I'm able to do
You
that.
have a conference?
Yep, yep.
Okay. So yeah, Jeanette and, Carol,
Yeah,
if you
I'll
find
let
it
you
to
know.
go, let us know.
Sure will.
It'd be really, really good, so. Okay. The next on our list is our tree inventory for 2024. I spoke with Tanya Dotson. She is a certified arborist through Plant Growth Management. She is kind of wrapping up contracts and getting work plans set for the community. She added a new one. I think they've extended the Richmond district as well. But she said that she's going to get back with me in April, and we're going to kind of finalize our mapping area that she's going to focus on for this year, but then plans to start in May. So she will be doing inventory for May this year until about October, wrap it up, and then we'll have our numbers and information for our November reporting. But she is going to, for the main part, we're going to hit south of State Street, west of 67, and about Pendleton Avenue. So it'll be kind of that southeast quadrant of our town, but she's going to include the golf course there. That golf course is the last piece of the park district that Last year, she was able to provide coverage and inventory assessments for the entire park area up here, the sports complex, the pool, North 40. But the golf course was the last area of the park. So we want to keep that priority. So we'll hit that area and then we'll move into another quadrant. So she's excited to get going. She's really, was able to develop a good system that worked for her, and she also has Scott Barnes that helps her out with that. And actually, her husband came a few times too, just to enjoy the day and help with measurements and so forth with diameter of the tree.
Have you met her? We have, haven't we? Have we met her? Has she
I
been
think
here?
so. She came to a meeting a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Lawrence, why do I know that name? I don't know.
Trying to think of where he lives in Greenville or,
And he's Tanya's husband?
no, that's her, co-worker.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know, I think Kevin might be her husband's name,
Oh,
I'm not for
okay.
sure, but yeah. But he's really a nice guy, no. But yeah, so she's gonna come in sometime April and we'll print off a map for her and we'll get it down on that. Okay, so then, the next item on new business is our tree campus, K through 12 community. So I wanted to have at least some preliminary or initial conversations with the school system before the end of the year. Wanted to kind of get some feedback to be able to see, what process, how involved, would they need things to take place to get this program set. I need to learn, as staff, I need to learn, become more familiar with the program, but then also I need to, get a feedback from the school on how fast they can move and getting something added into the curriculum. So that's why I wanted to meet with them sometime in April or May. But going into those conversations, I felt like that I needed to become more familiar with the program itself. Getting on Arbor Day Foundation gets a little bit of information, but it's the curriculum piece that isn't really clear. And I don't know how involved that curriculum has to be. It has to be very in-depth, or if it's just a lesson, say, each month, and then you have it's a requirement that you have a board between, say, municipalities, urban forestry committee, and the school. I understand that part, and I understand also the hands-on experience that we need to have a part of the educational program. But as far as the school year, how in-depth and how involved that has to be, I don't know what that looks like. So I reached out to Jacob Rose from Indiana DNR, and I asked if he'd have a good contact with someone that has a established program that I could meet with. And so he came back with a Bryce Patz, P-A-T-Z, and he is the former city forester of West Lafayette that has an established program that he established himself. He's now moved on. He works for the city of Indianapolis, and he's actually with the AmeriCorps program director for their parks and improvement and beautification type project. And reached out to him, and I think it was within an hour, I received a response back that he would be very excited to meet with us, whether it was an in-person meeting or a virtual meeting, just to answer any questions that we might have and so forth. I also did, and I know I met with Carol earlier this week. I did get clarification, Carol. There is existing other school programs within the state of Indiana, but he said he'd get that list. You try to get the list to me next week.
Okay.
Arbor Day Foundation provided him the contact of the municipal rep, for grants. And so he reached out and he's made contact with them. But the school system, he wasn't given contact information. He said he has no idea how they got involved, because it seems as if it's something that they must have learned about and wanted to pursue themselves directly. So it wasn't any involvement with the town or city, or community. So he didn't feel, he said, I can't really provide contact for those schools. He said, I haven't even been able, you have time yet to be able to reach out to them. And I said, well, we don't need contact information. I'm just curious, to see how many existing programs there are in the state. And I feel very good about meeting with Mr. Pats, and I think he'll be very resourceful for us. Kind of get me up and off the ground.
Did he have any idea at all on how many actual communities are involved
What
in
could
it?
in both conversations, he's not, email communication, he's not relayed that, but he just said he'll be back in the office Monday. Cause I reached out after our meeting and just like, clarify, I wanna make sure I, give him the right information, cause the first email, it almost sounded as if there was only that one program. But there is, he just doesn't have contact information, or much information about it. He said it's been a struggle to get information from Harvard. I don't know why. Don't know if there's a privacy thing. I wouldn't think so. I think it'd be something that they would want to promote, and there would be a acknowledgement list out there of some sort, but he just, said that he would get those, names of those school systems to me.
Okay.
So, and, too, I don't wanna jump in line of him either, and kind of be respectful of that, but I thought, well, I'd start with Bryce. He had indicated that he is available Thursday, April 11th, sometime between 1 and 2. Yeah, it doesn't mean that we have to take a whole hour, but he said that he would be more than happy if we wanted to come in person, or if doing something virtual. So if you or that time works good for my schedule, but if you want to be a part of those conversations and want to come here to the town hall, we can set up a Zoom meeting and we can meet them in here or in the conference room or something and, just get familiar with the person.
Yeah, why don't you set up the time with him and then just let us know.
Just let you know and then
And we can, if we can,
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. All right.
I know you don't probably have any answers, but I'm real curious to see, the different schools that are doing that and what, are they different levels, do
Yeah.
they have a specific agenda they follow all the time?
well, that's why we were thinking, if we're gonna talk to the school here, they're gonna have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
We don't-
Yeah.
we don't have any answers.
Yeah, we don't want
We need
to bring
have-
it up until we know,
Till,
because we're gonna
Yeah.
look like we don't know what we're talking
Yeah, we
about.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We
know
don't.
what we're talking
Yeah.
about, yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice
Have
to
some
know what the curriculum,
examples,
how,
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, what it looks
structured
like,
it
what
is.
it's
Yeah,
structured like.
right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm.
That's what I thought.
And even how
I need
different
to
they are.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Get some
Elementary
guidance on this
versus-
before.
Yeah.
we have this
Okay,
conversation.
good.
I
So
was,
many,
I was hoping we could do it in the fall of next year to the spring. But if next year is our preparation year and we have it up and going by the 25-26 school year, I'll be happy with that, but
Yeah.
just want to.
That seems more realistic,
Yeah.
because the school's gonna have to have that, they may already have their curriculum established
Yes.
for
Yeah.
next school year,
Yeah.
Then they have to have somebody that
They
is
don't have to
interested
find
in.
to prove it.
Right.
So,
So,
okay.
And it
What
also
we're going
depends
to
on
do.
who would be presenting it. I
Mhm.
mean, if somebody outside
Yeah.
came in, that's
Yeah.
different. I mean, they can just like work it into their health class or to their
Mhm.
science class or whatever it would be. That
Yeah.
happen. I mean, they have more flexibility with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
yeah.
just depends on what it is all. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then is that something that would require some type of agreement or something, MOU or something,
Yeah,
so,
Yeah.
need to kind of work out all that stuff. Okay, I will do that. I will get back with him, let him know that, find out what time frame he wants to that day and I'll send out. Great, awesome. Okay, all right. Then the last, well, not the last thing, but the last thing on the agenda. Just wanted to share with you, this, development here. So I don't know if you're aware, but we have Community Health Network that is coming into town. And they have, in this past year, they've gone through different processes that they've had to go through. It first started out in June of last year, they went through a rezone change. So where they're located, I can pull that up too. Let me get my zoning map up here. they have about a 10 point. I know one of my properties for BZA, one was 10.3, one was 10.8, but it's one of those. But it's right up here by the I-69 corridor. It's the property just north of Tractor Supply. So this property here is Tractor Supply in the purple, here in the light purple. And it's this property here, right? It's between McDonald's.
Oh, it's the, yeah.
So McDonald's kind of up there, up in the corner here, right up here. And then there is that parking lot, and then there's also another vacant piece of land that has not been developed. I think it's split into 4 parcels, but then this one here, that's a 10.3 acres. So they are going to put a 1-story building, about 25,000 square feet. It's going to be primary care facility as well as urgent care with X-ray service. So that will probably break ground, I would say somewhere in 2024, I'd say this summer. Start doing the earth moving, the utility locates and so forth, and it'll probably be, I'd say mid to late 25, that they will be ready for opening. So that development, I think, is going to be huge for our community. It's going to be a great benefit for our community. They have, like I said, they went from rezone, it's still shaded in our zoning map. We're having some issues, but it is heavy business is what it was, but it has been rezoned, went through planning commission and town council to be institutional. So it will reflect the blue shade here eventually. And then they went through the Board of Zoning Appeals last month for a variance and development scene. And very minor request on that. There was a lot of things that they had to work around with this project. This parcel is very unique. It's got a lot of easements, utility easements, bioswale in the front of the property here. They've got a stormwater easement here. They've got stormwater easement here as well. And then we weren't even aware of this, but this large detention pond was envisioned and planned as part of a county stormwater management plan. And so they had to put this large detention pond in the rear of their property. The variance piece of it is that when a development comes for certain zonings, you cannot have more than 50% of your parking in the front of your primary structure. So you'll see, this is their primary structure here. You'll see a lot of their parking in front of the building. The Board of Zoning Appeals did feel that this property was unique, with the large detention pond having to go in the rear. It shifted appropriateness from the front, but also with the nature of the patrons for this property. They're gonna have health conditions and keeping their walking distance and so forth, and just comfort level, being up in the front off of Enterprise Drive here, seems very appropriate. So they did grant that, so then that way they can move forward with their site development plan. It's being reviewed by the technical review committee. There's a few adjustments that had to be made, so we're waiting for some final drawings. But a part of that technical review process and for that site development review is a landscape requirement. So our Unified Development Ordinance has very, very detailed, heavy landscape requirements. And they not only met them, they're well exceeded. So this development here, you'll see, it offers, which is required, a full perimeter landscape here around the outside of the property. But then they also come in and they give more landscaping around the detention pond than what is required. They also have a parking lot perimeter landscaping that they are providing, which in some areas is kind of double, but they're going to do that. And then you'll see here as well, well, can't really see real well, but along here on Enterprise Drive, they are offering the required street trees. And then inside, you'll see these little parking landscape islands here. All those have landscaping from shrubs to trees, as well as then we have foundation plantings also as well. So that being said, they are offering, I counted up on their species list or their count on their trees, about 200 trees are gonna be planted on this property. 7% of this are conifers, the rest 93 was deciduous, which means they're gonna lose their leaves. They are providing about 20 different tree species within the 200 trees. And that doesn't even count, then they have choke cherry, which is those kind of a shrub tree-like type thing, they're beautiful. So there's about 20, I think maybe 17, 18 of those. And then 475 other shrubs and grasses.
Wow.
So this is going to be a drive-through, you know, I think we're all gonna be driving through and seeing this property as these trees bloom. They have been great to work with. They're actually, their landscaper is Contact. Contact is the landscaper that did the playground here for Pendleton, the new playground. So they are doing all their landscaping. They really dive deep into our UDO and make sure that they met all the requirements. The only changes, and of course, our UDO does not specify this, and we don't want it to specify this. It's because it can change over time, but right now, we have exceeded our 30% max on diversity for maples.
Yeah.
They had about 13 maples. They removed those and they've replaced those with the ivory silk. And then also, in some of their landscape island trees, they had the, Phora trees and trees that were medium to large. And so those they replaced with those ivory silk trees as well. And then they also had some, street trees of a larger tree species, and they replaced those with, either the smaller tree species on the list already, or they've added those ivory silk. So there, going to be quite a lot of, blooming trees. This document here, right here provides, you'll see all the different trees up here, 2-inch calibers, minimum with 8 trees. But it's from a 8 by, the 8.5 by 11 sheet, trying to load up real clear. This is the best that I could get. But then down here is all of the shrubs that would be provided. That's great.
How many acres is this block?
It's 10.3. 10.3 acres. Property. You'll see here, right here, this is their primary structure here, but you'll see this area here, that is for future development. So they are not for sure what will go in there, but most likely will be, it will be medical, related services, but, they just haven't gone that far. They're gonna focus on the first initial building and then, develop this.
So where's McDonald's located?
Oh.
McDonald's,
Yeah, McDonald's, yes,
where is it?
North of the.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So McDonald's is right here. You come in Enterprise Drive, and then this is where that property is gonna develop.
So basically just in front of McDonald's.
South of it.
Yeah, south of McDonald's.
Between McDonald's and.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply's right there.
Between McDonald's.
That's great.
That'll look nice from the interstate too.
Yes, and
See
that
the-
was
see the
another
pond
reason.
and the trees,
That was the other reason for the variance, approval is because then it gives, improvement in the aesthetics look from I-69, not having that large parking lot, don't have that convention hall with the trees. And they actually then changed some of their trees to a smaller size tree in the center, of this, most west, property line for a smaller size tree, so that way it could show the building, show the sign. So, yeah,
Yes, I didn't realize there was a pond back there.
there's not.
There's not, there's going.
going to be.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
yes, yep. There is a pond.
Right.
Tractor
Supply,
supply.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right back in
Small one.
here, yes,
Yeah.
and that's what the county wanted them
Yeah.
to tie into. That then.
It'd just be nice to have that kind of medical service
Oh,
Yeah.
here in the community.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's gonna be gorgeous and it's gonna be a great asset for our community. So. Any questions on that development?
That's not great.
It's exciting to see how the UDO and those standards really benefit when it comes to it.
What's you
It
do?
makes it so that's a unified development ordinance.
Okay,
And the planning commission had given a favorable recommendation for town council to approve that in 2021. And that covers all our zoning requirements, setbacks, height requirements, building material standards, land use, and all comprised in one big. We're going to
280 page
Like it's amended about what every other month, I think, with planning commission, because it's a working document, living, breathing. And you'll see when it comes to practice, you may need to make some tweaks, but then also things that may not jive and, are consistent throughout. We just need to. It was a big project that planning commission was through and the steering committee went through the development. So, yeah. So I don't have this on the agenda, but Carol had sent these pictures
I took a
today.
walk today.
Yeah.
Like,
Great.
Carol,
Yeah,
share
sure.
about it.
everything is budding out and I saw some opportunities for
Mhm.
pruning.
Oh,
outside
Oh, for
between
sure, look at that.
I
I got some,
know.
oh, that's in there.
Most of them look pretty good, but I think once they bloom and we
Yeah.
see if there's any,
Mhm.
anything,
From our
any
little
dead
pruning
or anything, yeah.
knowledge
But
that
this,
we
this
had.
one down in the bottom corner there, that was definitely, that thing growing across
Yeah,
there.
right.
was like,
do we get
whoa,
a prune? Do we get a prune?
What?
Do we-
Yeah.
Oh,
We learned
yeah.
how to prune.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Dr. Lau, do you know how to correctly prune a tree?
I've trimmed a lot of trees.
yeah, so, but really, I was just pleased that they all had little, at least had little buds on them. It's still pretty early, but they always have. beautiful buds.
And it was nice when they were getting planted or right before, how everybody was so nice about it.
Yeah.
Everybody that we talked to.
Yeah.
They were very nice and, didn't have any complaints or. So, a few of them, requested certain trees, but
And
that's
they'll
fine.
have
We,
the number one
yeah,
choice.
Yes,
right.
I know.
So it was a pleasant.
That one I was trying to figure, it looks like it has three leaves, so we're gonna have to pick one and get rid of those other ones, so, yeah.
So we would like to wait for spring growth season.
Yeah,
We'll also want to wait until we don't want, if there is a tree that's a late bloomer, and then for flowers, we'll make sure they've all fallen off, but I would say, probably here, definitely by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
We could definitely go in and prune those. I did speak with Carrie, Craig, and the porch party is going to be held, that event is going to be on Franklin Street
oh, good.
on August the 18th. I
That's
did
good.
not break that down, but I'll make sure that falls on a
August 8th.
Sunday.
Yep.
Yes, on the 18th. And it'll be from, I believe, 1 to 5. So maybe if we can get out there before that day, and do some pruning.
Maybe check for mulching too, see if
Yeah,
you can clean up any mulching.
That's true. So I'm gonna, anyone can answer this question, but I'm gonna pick on the three that went through the class. Can you look at the pictures and see any type of branching, that we would want to prune on either of these?
There's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these were probably the two worst cases that I
Yeah.
thought, they were just real obvious
This
to
right
me.
here,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, that one.
This one here, that
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like, wow, where did that come from?
I know.
He's coming
But,
right up.
yeah,
This didn't rain.
You need to go
And
on.
there's all these.
and I didn't even look to see if there was anything like around the trunk and the base, if anything was, so anyway,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's,
So, so we definitely, we want to reduce the load, we want to clear out the unnecessary, branches, kind of thin out a little bit, which helps restore the natural shape, beauty of the tree. And then also branches that are growing into the tree, canopy, and trunk, and then also those cross, branching.
yeah.
Things like on this one has quite a bit.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
could be
Like
all
I said-
over.
Like I said, these two were the.
Are those flowering trees or? Are
I
they
don't,
flowering
you know, and
too?
I don't know what these trees even
Yeah,
are.
I
It's
didn't
lower.
look up the
I didn't look to see,
location, I mean,
yeah,
That kind of an assortment on Brent.
yeah, there were
Yeah.
a lot of different ones, so. So it'll be fun, that will use some of our.
yeah.
I've
Yeah,
got a
that
great
was a
song.
great idea.
I've got
Thank
a
you so
great,
much
great
for,
song. I
thinking
do.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Anyone have any questions,
Comment,
comments?
let me,
Going to make sure, okay, just want to make sure that the attendee didn't have any questions or comment or
Yeah.
anything, but I don't see anything. A hand raised or anything. Okay.
well, we will adjourn the meeting then. Thanks to you, everybody. Happy Easter.